So today we start the virtualization, which is a very important. Can you hear my voice? So, what is virtualization? So virtualization, because it is a very important concept in cloud computing, it is the core technology which which creates the cloud computing, or you can say it's the core technology which enables the cloud computing, today's cloud computing technologies. So all we know like what is virtualization? It is just like creating of virtual version of something such as a server, desktop, storage devices, an operating system, or a network resources as it is a live one. That means virtualization is the creation of virtual rather than actual version of something such as server, desktop, storage, and operating system or network resources. So in other words, virtualization is a technique which allows to share a single physical uh, IT resources or an application among multiple customer or and organization. So the core advantage of virtualization is in a one physical computer, we can create multiple virtual computers which is shared by the multiple users at the organization. It does by assigning logical name to a physical storage and providing pointer to a physical resources when demanded. So it is something like that, creating the virtual instances, it looks like a real one, and not only one virtual instances, multiple virtual instances, and sharing them among the multiple users or by the multiple organization. By using, we have only one physical server which is shared by multiple users, which runs different operating systems, and on that operating system which runs different applications which is shared by multiple users. Now that is the core advantage of virtualization. So when it comes to creation of virtual machine over an existing operating system and hardware is known as hardware virtualization. That means the same thing. Creation of virtual machine over the existing operating system or hardware and the hardware is known as hardware virtualization. A virtual machine provides an environment that is logically separated from underlying hardware. Later in the section, you're going to know how we create the virtualization instances. But right now, it is something like creating a virtual machine over an existing operating system on hardware is known as hardware virtualization. The machine on which virtual machine is going to create is known as host machine, and the virtual machine is referred to as guest machine. So on the physical server, or you can say on the physical computer on which we are creating a virtual machine, that physical computer which provides the platform for creating the virtual machine is called as host machine, and the virtual machine which is running on the hardware platform are also called as guest machines. So ಇದು ಹೆಂಗೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ಹಾರ್ಡ್ವೇರ್ ಇದೆ, ಆ ಹಾರ್ಡ್ವೇರ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಆಪರೇಟಿಂಗ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಇದೆ, ಆ ಆಪರೇಟಿಂಗ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಮೇಲೆ ವರ್ಚುವಲ್ ಮಷೀನ್ಸ್ ನ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಈ ವರ್ಚುವಲ್ ಮಷೀನ್ಸ್ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಗೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಷೀನ್ಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಆ ಸಿಂಗಲ್ ಪೀಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಹಾರ್ಡ್ವೇರ್ ಮತ್ತು ಆಪರೇಟಿಂಗ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಗೆಸ್ಟ್ ಆರ್ ಹೋಸ್ಟ್ ಮಷೀನ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಗೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಷೀನ್ ನ ಹೋಸ್ಟ್ ಮಷೀನ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Types of virtualization, as we know that we have the SaaS, storage virtual, server virtualization, how we can do the server virtualization. In this topic, we'll look detail into the how to create these virtual machine. The very important thing is we have a software is called as virtual software or virtual box, hypervisor, para hypervisor. There are different types of virtual software available in the industry using which we create the virtual machines. So we can create hardware virtualization, for example, storage as a virtualization like SAN network, NAS network, and DAS network. These are all the examples for hardware virtualization, operating system virtualization, server virtualization, storage virtualization. These are all examples for hardware as well as software virtualization. So when it comes to hardware virtualization, when the virtual machine software or virtual machine manager is directly installed on the hardware is known as hardware virtualization. So when the virtual machine software or virtual machine manager, so ಎರಡು ಸೇಮ್, that means this virtual software. So first hardware ಇದೆ, ಹಾರ್ಡ್ವೇರ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಆಪರೇಟಿಂಗ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟಾಲ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗಲ್ಲ ನಾವು. Instead of installing the hardware, the operating system on the hardware, we directly install the virtual software or virtual machine software or virtual machine manager directly on the hardware. And in that case, that is called as hardware virtualization. The main job of hypervisor, we say virtual machine software, virtual machine manager, is also named as hypervisor. The main job of virtual machine manager or hypervisor is to control and monitoring the processor, memory and the hardware resources. So hardware ಇದೆ ಹಾರ್ಡ್ವೇರ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ hypervisor ಇನ್ಸ್ಟಾಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. That hypervisor is called as virtual machine manager, which monitors and allocate processor, memory and other hardware resources like RAM, network to a different user. After virtualization of hardware system, we can install different operating system on it and run different application on the OS. So first what we'll do, there is a hardware, plain hardware on which we're going to install hypervisor or virtual machine manager, on which we install different operating system, and each operating system runs different applications. Now that is called as hardware virtualization. Use of hardware virtualization is mainly done for the server platform because controlling virtual machine is much easier than controlling the physical server. The main usage of hardware virtualization is done on the server platform. Suppose, as we know, that servers are the machines which are more sophisticated than the traditional machines. Servers are the machines which has more processing power, more memory and high speed communication devices. All these things are servers. So what we do, the hardware virtualization is most of the time created on servers, so that maintaining the virtual machines is very easier than maintaining the physical server. And operating system virtualization, when a virtual machine software or virtual machine manager is installed on host operating system instead of directly on the hardware system, is known as operating system virtualization. So operating system virtualization means there is a hardware. On that hardware, we install normal operating system, or you can say server operating system, or any other operating system like Windows 7 or Windows 10 or Linux operating system or iOS operating system, something like that. On that operating system, we install virtual software or virtual machine manager or hypervisor. On that hypervisor, we install different operating system running different application. Now the advantage of having this virtual machines or virtual operating system is operating system virtualization is mainly used for testing application on a different platform of different operating system. Say for example, if you have a criteria where you need to test your software on different operating system. That means physically you need to have different operating system running on a different physical machines. So giving that kind of environment for testing your application is takes a lot of time as well as money. So with the use of virtualization, what we do, we take a hardware on which we install the operating system, on which we install the hypervisor, on which we install the different operating system, so that we can run our application on the same physical server by using different virtual operating system instances. And server virtualization, when the same thing, server virtualization, hardware virtualization, most of the time same, because there is a thin line difference between the hardware virtualization and the server virtualization. Server virtualization is when we install the virtual machine on the server, is called as virtual server virtualization. And hardware virtualization is something like that when we install the hypervisor or virtual machine manager directly on the hardware, is called as hardware virtualization. But the use of server virtualization is done because single physical server can be divided into multiple servers on demand basis for balancing the load. And we know that storage virtualization. Storage virtualization is the process of grouping the physical storage from multiple network storage devices so that it looks like a single storage device. So for example, as I said, in the data center, there will be a lot of storage devices connected to each other in the network. Now what we do using storage virtualization is we group all the storage devices connected in the network and we name it as a single storage devices, so that though it looks like a single storage device, but it is actually the different storage devices from the different connected to a network like storage area network and network area storage. Hope you understood the storage area network and network storage area. Have you understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's how we do storage virtualization. Storage virtualization is mainly done for backup and recovery purpose. So it is most of the time storage virtualization we do storage virtualization to store the data backup, to store the backup data and to recover if in case of data lapse or in case of data lost. How does virtualization work in the cloud? Virtualization plays a very important role in the cloud computing technology. Normally in cloud computing, users shares the data present in the cloud like application, etc. But actually with the help of virtualization, users shares the infrastructure also. Now that is one of the biggest advantage of using cloud virtualization. So virtualization, as you know, that is important role in cloud computing technology. Normally in cloud computing, users in what happens in cloud computing is users shares their data present in the cloud like applications or application data or user data, but actually with the help of virtualization users also shares the infrastructure, that is processor, memory, network, bandwidth, communication, all these things. The main usage of virtualization technology is to provide application with standard version to their cloud users. Suppose if the next version of that application is released, then the cloud provider has to provide the latest version of their cloud users, and practically it is possible because it is more inexpensive. So the main advantage of virtualization is to provide the application with standard version to their cloud users. Those who use the applications which is stored in the cloud, the cloud provider must provide a standard version. Suppose if there is updates in the applications or software, then it is automatically provided by the cloud provider. Otherwise, it is very expensive. If we actually if we purchase perpetual license for each and individual software, the main advantage is this one. ಅಕಸ್ಮಾತ್ ಸಾಫ್ಟ್ವೇರ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಅಪ್ಡೇಟ್ಸ್ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಆಯ್ತಂದ್ರೆ it is automatically available to all the cloud users who are using that applications. To overcome the problem with basically virtualization technology, by using virtualization, all servers and software applications which are required by other cloud provider are maintained by the third party people, and the cloud provider has to pay the money on monthly or annual basis. So now the problem with the virtualization is nowadays this is not a problem, but when earlier days the cloud computing started, there are like data centers which own the sophisticated hardware, lots of hardware, lots of server, lots of storage devices, lots of network. So usually the cloud provider, as a provider, as a software, as a provider, say for example, Salesforce.com, they used to launch this application on their provider, cloud service provider, and cloud in turns the cloud service provider has to pay this third party infrastructure organizations which host the infrastructure are monthly or annual basis. But nowadays it is not the case, because most of the companies who launch most of the big companies have their own data centers, or they have the infrastructure from the Amazon web service provider, where you get all the infrastructure, storage, processor, and software, everything. Now Salesforce.com are also having their own data centers on which they usually launch their applications and provide the different services, as we have studied in the data center. Now this is just an example of virtualizations. So what we done is like on-premises cloud or cloud platform. There are two things. On-premises cloud means private cloud, and off-premises cloud means you can say public cloud. In that we have an infrastructure on which we have infrastructure services like computing services, storage services, network services, and other cloud services on which we install virtual machine infrastructure, that is virtual software, on which we install different applications, different services, on which we have different operating system running on the hardware. So when it comes to hardware virtualization, one of the one-to-one, previously there was one-to-one relationship between physical server and operating system. Low capacity of CPU, memory and network requirements were available. So by using this model, the cost of doing the business increased. The physical space, amount of power and the hardware requirement to cost were adding up. So initially, before hardware virtualization, there will be one-to-one relationship between physical server and operating system. That means ಹಿಂದೆ ಹೆಂಗಿತ್ತು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ಸರ್ವರ್ ಇತ್ತು, ಆ ಸರ್ವರ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಒಂದು ಆಪರೇಟಿಂಗ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ರನ್ ಆಗ್ತಿತ್ತು. ಆ ಒನ್ ಆಪರೇಟಿಂಗ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್ ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ಸ್ ರನ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇತ್ತು. ಆ ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್ ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ ಜನಗಳು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು, ವಿಚ್ ಇಸ್ ಎ ವೆರಿ ಕಾಸ್ಟ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಸೆಟಪ್ ಫಾರ್ ಎನಿ ಇಂಡಸ್ಟ್ರಿ. The hypervisor manages shared the physical resources of the hardware between the guest operating system and the host operating system. The physical resources become abstracted version in standard format regardless of the hardware platform. The abstracted hardware is represented as actual hardware. Then the virtual operating system look like into the resources as they physically enters. Now this is what they are saying. Now they have an individual, like they are a private cloud provider, private clouds and public cloud and a hybrid cloud, using hypervisor we can share the resources, hardware resources, software resources, which looks like one virtual machine, which looks like one computer. Two virtual machines look like two computers, but actually they are running in the same hardware. And this kind of setup is called as virtual abstraction. See, you can see this. See, can you see the diagram? So this is actually typical configuration of virtual machines in the data center. Here you can see some applications running .NET services, SAS services, Windows services, Linux services, JWE services, desktop services, and other application services. And this kind of setup is known as virtual abstraction. So hardware virtualization accomplished by abstracting the physical hardware layer by a user of hypervisor or virtual machine monitoring or virtual machine manager. When the virtual machine software or a virtual machine manager or a hypervisor software is directly installed on the hardware, is known as hardware virtualization. We know that hardware virtualization, something like that. We have a hardware like storage connected to a processor and network devices, RAM, all these things are a hardware piece. On the hardware piece, we install the hypervisor or virtual machine manager or virtual software or virtual box. On that virtual software, we install operating system which runs different applications. The main job of hypervisor is to control and monitor processor, memory, and other hardware resources. Advantage is more efficient resource utilization. Physical resource can be shared among virtual machines, although unsecured resource can be allocated to a virtual machines that can be used by other virtual machine if the need exists. So another more efficient resource utilization. So physical resources can be shared among virtual machines. Same physical hardware can be shared by different virtual machines. Although the unused resources can be allocated to a virtual machines and can be used other virtual machines if the need is exist. Nowadays it is not the case because there is always a high demand of this hardware, high demand of the servers in the data centers. No server is idle in the data center. That means if there is chances where still we can allocate the hardware like storage, there is always a chance we can use this hardware more efficiently, so that the utilization of the server is not left less than 100%. So more efficient, the server is always utilized by the server powers, that is CPU power, storage power, and communication power is always utilized with the efficient resource utilization. Next, lower overall cost because of server consolidation or virtual abstraction. Now, because a single server is owned by a multiple single server running multiple operating system and multiple applications, now the same hardware can be shared by multiple can be shared by multiple user. Now the user does not have to worry on cost, because the cost is reduced because the server, because of virtualization, we are running different operating system on the same server with different applications on each and every uh, virtual operating system. It is possible for multiple operating system can coexist on a single hardware platform, so that the number of server, rack spaces and power consumption is dropping significantly. Now, because of the virtualization, because of the cloud, the cost of using this hardware, sophisticated hardware, comes down because of virtualization. And increased uptime because of advanced hardware virtualization. The modern hypervisor provides highly orchestrated operations that maximize the abstraction of the hardware and helps ensure maximum uptime. The function helps to migrate a running virtual machine from one host to another dynamically, as well as maintaining a running copy of virtual machine on another physical host in case the primary host fail. Now the uptime means, for example, ಅನ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ಸರ್ವರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದೇ ಸರ್ವರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು 10 ವರ್ಚುವಲ್ ಮಷಿನ್ಸ್ ರನ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಸಮಥಿಂಗ್ ಗೋಸ್ ಡೌನ್, ಅವಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು ವರ್ಚುವಲ್ ಮಷಿನ್ ಫೇಲ್ಯೂರ್ ಆಯಿತು ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಅವಾಗ ಆಟೋಮೆಟಿಕಲಿ we migrate all the applications on the failing virtual machines from one hardware piece to another hardware piece without shutting down the server. Direct applications, direct virtual machines ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆಪರೇಟಿಂಗ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ಸ್ ರನ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಅದು ಸುಮಾರು ಜನ ಯೂಸರ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಸರ್ವಿಸ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಈಸಿಲಿ migrate these failed virtual, I mean, software which is running in the failed virtual machines to another hardware without shutting down the uh, actual hardware or actual operating system. And that is possible because I told you in the data center how we can move the application and the operating system and the applications running on the operating system without shutting down the application or operating system or without shutting down the physical hardware from one physical server to another physical server by using storage area network and network area storage. Because of these storage area network and network area storage, which makes it possible to move the complete applications from one physical server to another physical server without shutting down anything. Next, increase IT flexibility. That means hardware virtualization helps a quicker deployment of the server resources, is managed and consistent way. That means quickly we can create the virtual machines, so that if there is a more demand in the if people ask more virtual machines with different operating system and with different application, we can create these things in a small time. Next, server virtualization is, I mean, before server virtualization, traditional rack setup ಈ ರೀತಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. See, when I say data center ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದಾಗ, now I want to explain you what actually makes virtualization possible, or the utilization of virtual servers in the data center. So when I say data center, what we need unlimited power supply, we need email server, we need database server, we need web server, we need switches, we need router, we need firewall. So what happens is, all these hardware which we needed are come in a data center comes as a server, like a blade server, compact server. Now we have all these hardware pieces and software pieces in a single blade server at a rack server. So traditionally, because it's the hardware setup, it takes a lot of money as well as lot of configuration, lot of effort in configuration. All those things we need in a data center. Now these comes as a blade server or rack server or we say rack server and tower servers. So all these servers, when I say servers, these things are included. So what happens before virtualization? Traditional rack setup. Let's look at what we had before server virtualization. First, the example below is from one of the first company I work for. Many now I am not working for any IT companies. Just one of the case studies taken from the internet. Fairly a small company where we are looking after our own servers in a server room. We had a rack to put the equipment in, and we had few servers in there. So we had email servers which was running Microsoft Exchange database server, that was running Microsoft SQL, and also had our own web server in there as well. Now this is just an example of traditional servers. Okay, so where we have an email server which runs database server to manage the email users, and a web services that is to provide email services for the multiple users through router and firewalls. Obviously, we are going to need a power for those servers. So we had a couple of uninterrupted power supplies. This provides clean power, and if the grid power goes down, they have what a battery, so that you continue to provide the power for a period of time. So this is like a UPS. So we need all these things. A schematic view of traditional rack setup is shown below. The blue rectangle represents a single physical server. Down at the bottom level, we got the hardware in the server, such as processor, RAM, and network interface card for our network connectivity. This is a server. In down the server, we have a hardware. This is like CPU, RAM, and network interface card. We install operating system directly onto the hardware. So operating system. After operating system has been installed, we install our application on the first instances. So on the applications, on the operating system, we install the application servers, applications like email server, file server, web server, so and so. We have the same architecture for the database server and the web server. The same architecture. First, there is a hardware. On the hardware, we install the operating system. On the operating system, we install the applications. For example, email server. This was the traditional server setup before virtualization. Now, when we do like this, the server utilization leaves a lot to be desired. When I say server utilization, I mean how busy CPU, RAM, or network interface. Typically, when you are running a single application on a server like this, it is going to run around 15% utilization, which is obviously a not very cost effective, particularly as we had to pay for each individual users. They were all using the power. Now ಈ ತರ ರನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ traditional application setup ಅಲ್ಲಿ run ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ it's obvious that one application, one operating system used by one user. So server utilization almost 15% utilization ಮಾತ್ರ ಆಗ್ತಾ, though it is as a 100% efficiency. We can use this before cloud computing or before server virtualization. This was the setup, and the utilization is below than 15%. Now with the server virtualization, the same setup again. Blue represents the server under which we have a CPU, RAM, and network interface card. On top of there, rather than installing normal operating system like Windows, we install hypervisor. Now on top of the hardware, we install hypervisor. The hypervisor is going to come from one of the server virtualization companies, such as VMware, Oracle, IBM, Dell. So there are many companies which provides hypervisor. The hypervisor acts as the operating system on the physical server, and it also allocate and access the underlying hardware to my virtual machines, which are explained in next. So this hypervisor is acts as the operating system which provides CPU, RAM, and network interface card for different users. The first virtual machine gets installed in the hypervisor. At the bottom level of virtual machine is operating system. In our example, virtual machine 1 is running Windows. So after installing the hypervisor, we install the operating system. First virtual machine running the Windows operating system. On top of Windows, we install email servers. So on top of Windows, we install email servers in a virtual machine 1. Then we install a second virtual machine into the same underlying physical server. In the same physical server, we can install another operating system. The second virtual machine is also running Windows as its operating system, but this is a separate instance of operating system from the virtual machine 1. So now this is another example, virtual machines 2. On the same hardware, now we are running two operating system. First one is virtual machines, which is running Windows. Second one is virtual machines, which is running Windows. But here we are running application database server, in which in virtual machines 1 we are running application email server. Email server, we are running email applications. Here we are running data server. Now we have two operating system on the single machine. Similarly, we can have three virtual machines. Another one is third one is running applications or web server. But here the operating system is Linux. Now in the same setup, we have the hardware server like blade server, rack server, or tower server, on which we have an operating system which is also called as hypervisor, and which we have three different operating systems running three different applications: emails application, database application, and web service applications. Now virtual machine migration. Have you understood this one? Anybody? ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ ಇದು? How to create the virtual machine?
Yes, sir.
Sorry?
ಸರ್ ಇನ್ನೊಂದ್ಸಲಿ ರಿಪೀಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಸರ್.
See, before virtualization, virtualization in the data center, this is the normal setup in the data center or you can companies. You can consider this blue rectangle as a server. So server ಕೆಳಗಡೆ we have CPU, RAM, network interface card, and then ಅದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಆಪರೇಟಿಂಗ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟಾಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ವಿ, and ಅದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಒಂದೇ ಒಂದು ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ಸ್ ನ ರನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ವಿ. ಬಟ್ ಕಾಸ್ಟ್ ತುಂಬಾ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗೋದು, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ this server, though it has a 100% efficiency, which can, using virtualization, we can utilize this CPU, RAM, and network interface card 100%. But before virtualization, the problem is this one, application and then operating system problem. So because single server provides single operating system and single application, which reduces the efficiency less than 50%. 15% ಇಂದ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. So after virtualization, we have the same setup. Like we can consider this blue rack as a server. On under server, we have a hardware like CPU, RAM, and network interface card, on which we install a hypervisor, which is a kind of operating system for a server, or you can say virtual software, which is also called as hypervisor. On the hypervisor, we can install virtual machine 1, operating system 1, Windows, which running Windows operating system. On this Windows operating system, we are running email applications. Similarly, on the same server, we can install another operating system which runs application, database applications. On the same physical server, we can install another operating system which is Linux operating system, on which we are running web service. Now, because of virtualization, this setup is possible, which increases the server utilization from 15% to 100%. Now we can provide as many as operating system and as many as applications running on single server with the help of hypervisor. Understood now? Understood?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Now that is the use of server virtualization. I just saw a single example of server virtualization. As we can see, virtual machine migration. The killer feature of a server virtualization is the ability to migrate virtual machine between different underlying physical server on the fly without requiring to shut down them or start them up again. Now this is the very important advantage. So say for example, if virtual machine 1 fails because of some reasons, then automatically these applications, whatever the applications we are running on Windows operating system virtual machine 1, can be easily migrated from one physical server to another physical server without shutting down the operating system or without shutting down the applications or without shutting down the hardware. To be able to do is the data center, the data for the virtual machines which is configured as the virtual hard disk must be housed on external SAN or NAS storage system. How it is possible? Because whatever the all the data of this email applications, all the data of this database applications, all the data of these web server applications are actually stored in under the hypervisors. They are actually stored in storage area network or network area storage, so that the data can be easily moved from one physical server to another physical server. Ground level, you have to understand, because of SAN and NAS, we can easily migrate the application virtual machine from one physical server to another physical server. There are two things, type 1 hypervisor and type 2 hypervisor. There are two types of hypervisor, type 1 and type 2. The example above showed is a type 1 hypervisor. So the type 1 hypervisors run directly on the system hardware and acts as the operating system. It is the other job, its other job is to give out access to the underlying hardware to the different virtual machines. Now this kind of setup where we have a hardware on the directly we install the virtual software or hypervisor, and this kind of setup is called as type 1 hypervisor. This kind of setup is called as type 1 hypervisor. Type 1 hypervisor ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಹಾರ್ಡ್ವೇರ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಆ ಹಾರ್ಡ್ವೇರ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಹೈಪರ್ವೈಸರ್ ಅಥವಾ ವರ್ಚುವಲ್ ಸಾಫ್ಟ್ವೇರ್ ನ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟಾಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಅದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್ ಆಪರೇಟಿಂಗ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ನ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟಾಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ full virtualization or type 1 virtualization. And type 2 virtualization same, VMware Workstation, VMware Players, PC VMware Fusion, Format and VirtualBox, QEMU and Palace. See for example, so ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಹಾರ್ಡ್ವೇರ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, CPU, RAM ಎಕ್ಸೆಟ್ರಾ. ಅದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಒಂದು ಆಪರೇಟಿಂಗ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟಾಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಲೈಕ್ ವಿಂಡೋಸ್. ಅದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಹೈಪರ್ವೈಸರ್ ಸಾಫ್ಟ್ವೇರ್ನ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟಾಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಅದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಹೈಪರ್ವೈಸರ್ನ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟಾಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಟೈಪ್ 2. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಹಾರ್ಡ್ವೇರ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಡೆಸ್ಕ್ಟಾಪ್ ಆಪರೇಟಿಂಗ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟಾಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಅದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಹೈಪರ್ವೈಸರ್ನ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟಾಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಅದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ನಾವು ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್ ಆಪರೇಟಿಂಗ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ನ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟಾಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಆಪರೇಟಿಂಗ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ 1, ವರ್ಚುವಲ್ ಮಷಿನ್ 1, ಆಪರೇಟಿಂಗ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ 2, ವರ್ಚುವಲ್ ಮಷಿನ್ 2. This is type 2 hypervisor. See, this is the difference between. So first diagram ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಲ್ಲ, this is called as type 1 and right side part of the diagram is called as type 2 hypervisor. So what happens in type 1 is like we on the hardware itself we install the hypervisor software or virtual machine software. On that operating the hypervisor software we install different operating system running different applications. So what happens in another setup, like on the hardware we install one operating system which is called as host operating system, on which we install hypervisor, on which we install different operating systems, on which we install different operating system, and on that different operating system we install different application. Now these are the two difference between hypervisor, type 1 hypervisor and type 2 hypervisor. Now this is enough for the fifth unit. This is enough. This completes fifth unit. For during short terms, because I think we have the syllabus. So where we server virtualization, hypervisor based virtualizations, server consolidation, resource replications. Resource replication means just in one example we can have multiple server utilization. So this is the example for this one. This completes our fifth unit. So that is virtualization. Do you have any doubts? Do you have any doubts? Do you have any doubts? If you have any doubts, anyway, I will upload this link in the YouTube so that you can go through the classes when you need it. I'll share the link with you, YouTube link with you. Okay. Do you have any doubts?
No, sir.
That completes the fifth unit, that is virtualizations, where we have seen server virtualization, hardware virtualization, advantage and disadvantages, and how to create servers type 1 hypervisor and how to create type 2 hypervisor. With this, I'll conclude the fifth chapter. Next class, we'll start the sixth chapter, which is mobile cloud applications. Or you can say uh, mobile using mobile cloud, that is cloud applications. There is separate cloud called as mobile cloud, in which we have a software, we can run different applications, different mobile applications, which conclude sixth unit. Um, these are the topic up to fifth unit. So for your second internet test, we will be having a question from third, fourth, and fifth unit. Thank you. Now I'm going to end the classes. I share the recorded classes on the YouTube link, recorded classes in your